Welcome, lions. Enter in peace. Giraffes, welcome aboard. Elephants, you are safe here. Zebras, come in. Whoa, I don't know, guys. Maybe you should take the second boat.
Have you ever wondered what if it's just all true? The stuff in the Sunday school songs and the Indiana Jones movies and found in the actual ancient texts of the Dead Sea Scrolls and the Bible? What if it all existed? What if it exists still to this day? What if there is indeed an actual Ark of the Covenant that can be found? Apparently, secret CIA files claim to have found the Ark of the Covenant. Maybe that's what they're hiding at Area 51. You never know, ladies and gentlemen. The Shroud of Turin, the cloth that was placed on Christ at his burial, now effectively proved to be authentic and to be something that could have never been created at the time that it was found to have the likeness of Jesus Christ in it, because it would need 100 billion kilojoules of nuclear irradiated energy to shine through it, and that's just something they didn't have in antiquity. So what if the Shroud of Turin's real? What if this is the actual burial cloth of Christ, and this is the actual face of Christ? It's very cool. It's very neat what is happening right now in science and in discovery, and with the technological tools that can be used to authenticate what we believe as Christians. And I'm a simple Christian. I read my Bible and I believe it. That's it, right? That's why they call it faith. And faith without sight. But sometimes sight is very cool. The children's story, that of course is a song or a book in every single Sunday school across America, is Noah's Ark. It includes cute animals and a fun story about God saving mankind when we had fallen off a cliff. And of course, there's plenty of cute songs and animal images to go along with it. That's why my kids like it. But why I am very interested in this story is because there is now a archaeological finding of Noah's Ark that is very cool. Get a load of this. Noah's Ark mystery deepens as underground tunnels found in Turkey mountaintop match exactly the Bible blueprint. Come on. High in the mountains of Turkey, a mysterious geological formation sits. Some researchers believe that it could be the remains of Noah's Ark. This is what it looks like right here. Turkey is important because Turkey is where a place called Mount Ararat is. Mount Ararat is where in Genesis it says Noah's Ark was finally crested onto land once more and eventually came to rest. And this is where Mount Ararat is, right here in the very, very eastern region of Turkey. It's a massive mountain. That's what it looks like. It's a humongous mountain. Not terribly far from Mount Ararat is where this extremely peculiar archaeological find is, right here. The high mountains of Turkey, a mysterious geological formation sits that some researchers believe could be Noah's Ark. Why do they believe that? Because they've discovered underground tunnels inside of whatever this is. All right, here we go. Andrew Jones, an independent researcher with Noah's Ark scans, used ground-penetrating radar to uncover a network of corridors converging on a hollow central chamber. He dubbed this the atrium. Jones linked the discovery of the Bible's description of the ark, which states that they both contained 3 internal levels built to shelter Noah and his family and pairs of animals. God told Noah to bring the animals in, and these animals would have stayed there, plus Noah and his family. What's interesting is that these voids are lining up below the ground, and they're not just random. These tunnels also follow a pattern. They look below the soil using radar. He added further studies of infrared thermology, heat sensing technology that can uncover hidden structures underground, has also suggested the presence of ship-shaped hull buried beneath the soil. Look at this. A team of American researchers working at the formation found near Mount Ararat has uncovered evidence, hidden tunnels, the biblical account. Very cool. Look at that. Located 18 miles south of Mount Ararat, Turkey's highest peak, formation has been known to the modern world for less than a century. According to local reports, heavy rains and earthquakes in 1948 washed away the surrounding mud, revealing the mysterious formation that is unlike really anything else that's discovered by a shepherd. And the Bible states that Noah's Ark came to rest in the mountains of Ararat. The 150-day flood that drowned the earth and every living creature on it was sheltered inside of the wooden vessel. What's intriguing is that the formation sits in the mountain with a peak that some believe matches the ark's shape and dimensions. According to biblical measurements, the ark was 300 cubits long and 50 cubits wide and 30 cubits high. The idea that the ark landed on Mount Ararat has long sparked a debate. Scientists argue that the formation is a naturally occurring geological feature. Others are convinced that it could be something far more extraordinary, that it could be Noah's Ark. Researchers have added further studies using infrared thermology, heat-seeking technology that can uncover the presence. There you go. Well, I mean, there's only one way to find out, right? You gotta get in there. You gotta get down. Find some way to pop on in and see if you find a wooden structure, maybe some handwritten a signature of Noah, right? Look at her go. There it is. Okay. Jones told GB News that he and his team collected 88 samples from inside and outside of the ship. The soil testing in the area showed extremely high levels of potassium consistent with massive amounts of decomposed lumber. Due to the extremely cold climate, many parts of the Ark is still intact and petrified. It spends almost 6 months out of the year completely frozen. Jones revealed that he and his team uncovered angular structures deep in 20 feet beneath the surface that could represent rooms. Okay. Make an ark out of gopher wood. Rooms that thou shalt make in the ark shall pitch it within and without with pitch. Tar. This is not what you would expect to see at a site if it were a solid rock or just mud flow debris. So that's what they're.
Let's move on to an astonishing development in Turkey. A research team in Turkey claims it may have identified the remains of Noah's Ark. The formation, which resembles the shape of a boat, lies about 6,500 feet up in the mountains of Ararat. Is that how you pronounce it, Simon?
Ararat.
Ararat. Apologies. It measures roughly 515 feet in.
Thanks for having me on. Well, most people would say, if they're not religious, that no, that's a fairy tale. And so this is why this site that we're investigating is very exciting, because we believe it actually matches what's in the biblical account.
So just remind our British viewers, and me included, because I've not read Genesis in detail. Of course, I know the rough outline of Noah's Ark, but what is the story of Genesis chapter 6, Noah's Ark?
Well, in Genesis chapter 6, you have the story where God says that the earth is wicked and full of violence, and he finds one man and his family who found grace in God's eyes, and he tells Noah to build a giant ship made of wood and have it for the animals and his family to survive a global flood. And in Genesis chapter 8, you read that Moses wrote that the ark landed in the mountains of Ararat, and this is where we are researching right now. This site is right near, like 1 mile from the Iranian border in the mountains of Ararat.
It does look weird.
That's incredible.
Right?
So what have you found? These are the pictures on screen now. I'm not sure if you can see them. What are we looking at here, and what have you found?
Well, so the site itself was first discovered in 1959 by a Turkish army captain, İlhan Durapanar, and that's why it's called the Durapanar Noah's Ark site. And it's been in the news in and out over the decades. But the reason why it's in the news again is because we have done new GPR scans in the last few years and new soil samples from the site. And the first thing I'd like to announce that we're finding below the ground, about 4 meters down, corridors, these tunnels that are going straight down the middle of the boat and on the inside edge of the ship shape. And then they're leading to a central cavity. I call it the atrium. And along this, you're looking at different voids. This is all below the ground. So we're using non-destructive techniques to explore this site. because right now we have not done anything related to excavations. And then the other thing we did in 2024, we took 88 random soil samples inside and outside of that ship shape. And what they showed was that the soil inside the ship shape was 3 times more having organic matter than right outside.
How are people reacting to this? Friendly reminder, everything in the Bible is true. Archaeologists are finally catching up with the Bible. Ark raiders, some might say. Okay, that's pretty good. What do you think, ladies and gentlemen? I always think this kind of stuff is really fun and exciting, and it's good to have your worldview reinforced by science, even if it's 2,000, 3,000, 5,000 years behind, ahead. I think it's cool. Like, share, and subscribe if you do too. See ya.